Hello, parents and educators. Welcome to this reading webinar. Some parents think that reading happens naturally, just like a child gets to speak naturally. These are part of the myth that some parents think when it has to do with reading. My name is Isaiah Joshua. You can fondly call me Kitty Mama. That myth, it's not true. You have to put in efforts to help your child learn how to read. Another thing parents think is that my child goes to school, so my child will learn how to read from school. Beautiful. That could happen. Some children learn how to read from the school, and the parents do not have to put in much effort, right? Or even any effort at all. But some other children would require some assistance at home, right? It's better you do the later. Your child is not the only child in school, and definitely the extra you do at home would help you bond with your child. Some parents also think that memorization equals reading. Simply memorizing words doesn't equate to true reading. So if your child knows how to memorize, that is not reading. Reading has to do with comprehension, which is understanding, right? So you should also ensure that your child understands, and this can only happen when you go through the processes I will be explaining in this reading session. Okay? So another myth is that only formal instruction matters. No, there are lots of informal, fun, engaging activities you can do with your child at home to help your child get reading in the fastest time possible. Okay? And some other parents think boys are slow readers than girls. No, 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 that's not true. It's not a gender thing. It's about the effort you put in. It's about the activities and the patterns that your child goes through in relation to learning how to read. Another myth is that once a child learns to read, they are set. No, no, no. Reading is a continuous process, okay? Developing advanced reading skills involves ongoing practice, exposure to varied materials, and support from parents and educators throughout a child's educational journey. So, reading only involves decoding words. That's another myth. Absolutely no. Reading comprehension is equally important. It's not just about decoding the words. Your child needs to understand what the child is reading. Okay, so having explained and debunked lots of the myths that you already know or believe in, we would go forward to the steps to take to get your child to read. I'm very sure that is what you've been waiting for. The first step is to start with phonemic awareness by helping your child develop phonemic awareness. What does this mean? This involves recognizing and manipulating individual sounds in words, beginning from the first group of phonic sounds. This is what I mean. If you have a toddler, I would start from toddlers, right? You don't start teaching them sounds by saying, letter A makes the sound ah, letter B makes the sound b. No, it's best you start with phonemic awareness. That is getting them to learn sounds following the phonic pattern. So, Jolly phonic sounds comes in groups. Group one has six sounds in it. There is s, a, t, I, p, m. These are the sounds therein. Now, if your child learns these six sounds first, you will discover that from these sounds, your child can get familiar with four words, two three-letter words, sat and pain, and two two-letter words, in and at. But your child, after learning the sounds, may not get these words, right? This is for toddlers. Do you understand? But by the time you get to the third step in getting your child to read, you would see why this is very important. Just follow me. Assuming your child is not a toddler, your child is maybe ages 6 or 7 in grade 1 and doesn't know how to read, then you can do the regular sounds that the alphabet, and then let your child be able to recognize and attach each sound to the alphabet. You can go ahead to do the blending and all that, but just follow me, using this pattern, the steps in this order. So the second thing you have to do is to introduce the child to sounds associated with each letter. Okay, use interactive and engaging methods like songs, games, and visual aids to make it fun. So if you go through the videos in our YouTube playlist, Kiddietechville YouTube playlist, on phonic sounds, you would see that we teach these sounds in a very fun and engaging way. We tell stories, we show the sounds, we make room for tracing, we sing songs and all that. So you can play the videos to your child, to help the learning process, assuming you do not have access to how to go about this, right? We got you covered. So the third step is teach the child how to blend individual sounds together to form words. So you see the steps we've taken to get to this point, right? Start with simple consonant vowel consonants. Consonant vowel consonant, that's CVC. That is the pattern you would take in forming words together. Okay, this is why we said start with group 1 of the phonic sounds. Now you see in group 1 we have s, a, t. That would give you sat. S is a consonant sound, a is a vowel sound, t is a consonant sound. So you see, it's very easy for your child to grab this because that is the first group of sounds your child learned. Makes it very easy, right? So this is the pattern you would take. And then next is introduce common sight words that don't follow typical phonetic rules. Yes, these words are often encountered frequently and are essential for building reading fluency. So I'm going to share some examples with you. The, and, you, was, said, are, have, do, they, of. These words are very important. Your child will get to use, everybody uses these words in almost everything you get to say in a day, right? So you need to teach them separately how to pronounce these words because they do not necessarily follow the, phonemic patterns, right? Then read aloud to your child regularly. Read aloud, please. I started reading to my son from when he was 5 months. Yes. Read aloud to your child regularly, emphasizing word pronunciation and fluency. So even if your child has grown past the toddler stage, this reading aloud is still very important. Encourage your child to flow along and eventually attempt reading simple sentences. That is if your child, has passed the toddler stage, or even as a toddler, we still have books that your toddlers can read, okay? If your child is in year 1, grade 1, primary 1, whatever you call it, year 2, primary 2, grade 3, whichever one it is, and still does not know how to read, this pattern will actually help you after you must have taught your child the sounds, right? So you go ahead to read aloud and encourage your child to follow and read as well. So the next is incorporate phonics games and activities to making learning enjoyable. There are many online and offline resources that offer interactive games to reinforce phonetic skills. There are lots of games you can do. You can play hide and seek using your flashcards, your sound flashcards. You hide them different places and then play pretend play. Get your child to find anyone your child finds, your child would say the sound. That's fun, that's interesting. You can do this 5 minutes in a day. It's not going to take much of your time. You can also get your help if you have a house assistant to learn to do these activities with your child. Expand your child's vocabulary by exposing them to a variety of words through books, conversations, and educational activities. A rich vocabulary supports comprehension and overall reading skills, okay? You can also achieve this with coding. Yes. You can provide new words to create a word puzzle game and let your child find the words and explain the meaning too. This is what a coding word puzzle game will do for you. If you want to know more about coding, you can drop a comment and we'll get back to you. or you can send an email to kiddietechville@gmail.com. Foster a curious mindset by encouraging your child to ask questions about words and their meaning. Some parents run away from questions. When you say something, you maybe you say something and then you say adventurous, and you're just like, Mom, what does that mean? And then you're like, mind your business. Do not interrupt when I'm speaking. No, don't shush the child away. Say the meaning immediately. It sticks, the child grabs it, and it promotes a love for reading and helps your child, okay? Celebrate milestones and improvements in reading skills to boost your child's confidence and motivation. Once your child reads, you can have a reading routine. Maybe the routine is to read one page or one chapter, depending on the age bracket of your child, every day. Once your child attains this milestone, once your child does this, please celebrate, be happy. If it's a toddler and you're like, what sound does this? And the child say, oh, what sound does this letter gives? And your child says it correctly. Good job! You clap, celebrate the child. If it's an early age kid, ages 6, 7, whichever one it is, the child is able to read a sentence correctly. Good job! Beautiful! Celebrate the child. If it's, a child 10 years old, even your teenage children, you've given them, books to read for the week. And they come and like, Mom, I'm done reading the book you gave me. And you're like, wow, can you tell me about it? And they explain all they read and learn from the book. Don't just stay there and say, oh, that's fine. No, celebrate it. You can even say, because of this, I'm going to get you XYZ. Or you prepare, their favorite meal, just something to make them happy and enjoy reading. All right, I trust but that by the time you are done doing these activities, taking these steps, your child would start reading eloquently. Okay, so I just want you to be patient and know that this is not magic. It's not something that's going to happen in a day. You really have to put in the work. 5 minutes every day can achieve this. In our parenting platform, we will be sharing activities per time that you can be doing as well to help your child. All I want is the best for your child in regards development. It's still me, Desire Joshua, your child development coach. See you in subsequent sessions.